Yeah. For me, this was a miserable start to the pay-per-view. I was utterly disappointed by this match. And nothing for anything that the guys in the ring did. It's just the booking leading up to this. This clearly, I think this was set up for Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. And because whatever happened with Adam Copeland, whether that be real or what, I don't know. He say he's injured or maybe it was part of the storyline. I thought we were going to get some kind of surprise here from Adam Copeland. We got nothing. We didn't pay off anything in regards to Garcia. We have literally been building Garcia for 2 fucking years. When are we going to strike the match on this guy? Not tonight. I consider that this pay-per-view started with the next match. I consider this part of like the pre-show in my mind. Like this was a non-event for me and totally fucking disappointing. I mean, here's what became clear to me. No one is taking that belt off of Christian until Adam gets back. Adam is the guy that's going to take that belt until he's back. Christian's going to hold that belt and maybe not even do much with it.
Real quick follow-up to that. He will hold on to Wembley, and it's going to be a TLC match between Adam Cole and Christian for the TNT title. So our next match, actually, I thoroughly enjoyed just because I love both these guys in the ring. We had the AEW Continental Championship match between Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson. This match, thoroughly enjoyable. Some good moments in it. Obviously, you know, Danielson with the kicks to the head and a lot of, you know, back and forth between him and Eddie. Obviously, for this match, there's so much prestige behind it just because Eddie was looking for that respect from Bryan Danielson finally. And obviously, Eddie Kingston taking that huge power bomb to Bryan Danielson to end up winning the match. And obviously, at the end there, I really liked the end because it played during the match. He finally shook his hand. He was going to raise it, but then Eddie told him to raise the other hand just because, remember, during the match, he was working the hand he was going to raise. He was working the arm, Bryan Danielson. So to stick with kayfabe in the match, Eddie Kingston's like, no, raise this hand so I can pretend, hey, you were working this one in the match. I want to keep selling it. So I thought that was like a little cool.
The word is that Eddie is actually still selling that hand.
Yeah, he really is. He's doing this.
He's doing an autograph signing right now, and he's still selling the hand.
Yeah, perfect. But yeah, no, I thought this was a great match. Honestly, I agree with Mr. Hargrave that this match honestly should have started the pay-per-view.
This is the start of the show.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it should have been just because it was such a banger of a match.
If you go watch the pay-per-view now, just skip the first. Just go right to this.
Yeah, just skip all the other matches and
forget it. Look, if Danny doesn't dance, I don't want to see him in a match. I'm sorry, he didn't dance. Like, you can't tell me that match was good. Yeah, overall, this match just got me wanting Eddie and the BCC. I think it would really inject some life into that faction, so I'm hoping that's where this is all headed.
This one was pretty much, I think, predicted well by everybody. Yeah, this was just all over the place. I do remember the one spot, I believe Jericho had a lock and Hook had a submission in at the same time. I can't remember on who, but they both had the submission in at the same time.
I think Brian
Cage.
Yes,
it was on Brian Cage.
It was one of the big boys,
yeah, it was one of the big guys that both had their submissions in.
That double lion salt?
Yeah.
There was some good
that
spots. It's a bad match. That
was a good spot. Out of that match, that was probably the best spot.
That was dope. That was the coolest thing Jericho's done all year. Hands down.
Yeah, Wardlow won this one, and I had predicted Wardlow because obviously you have to give him and the rest of Undisputed Kingdom something to go with just to make their story and their faction look stronger now going forward.
Do you think Wardlow is gonna challenge Joe on TV and take that loss on TV? I don't see that happening anytime soon. It's got to happen at a pay-per-view if it's gonna happen.
I believe it happens at Dynasty.
Really? It's coming up fast.
It's coming up fast. So it's April. It's the next one. So I think Dynasty is where it happens.
Wow.
And Dan comes home?
Yeah, I think maybe. I mean, if you look at the color scheme, people were talking about the color scheme is kind of hinting at MJF maybe returning. It all depends on how quickly he recovers because that surgery does take a while on the hip to recover from.
But he can come and stand and talk at people.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could. I mean, I think they were talking about maybe surgery. I think he did go into surgery and like right after World's End. holy cow, did Orange Cassidy's back take a beating in this match.
Roderick Strong's hard on backs.
Basically lived up to his hype of breaking backs. And this match alone showed it. The spot on the top rope where he just dropped Orange Cassidy on the top rope was just brutal.
Nasty.
And just the numerous backbreakers he gave Orange Cassidy. Now, regardless of how quick this match was, I mean, it was only 12 minutes, 45 seconds, but my God, did it have a lot of crazy spots.
Yo, so yeah, this was crazy that Roderick Strong beat Orange Cassidy clean. I did not see that coming. What I was saying, like, the Kingdom should be cheating more. Like, I don't know why they're not being more evil and heelish. They are literally supposed to be the devils, yet they don't do a whole lot of cheating to win. So that was crazy. I did not expect Roderick Strong to come out of this just with a clean victory, no interference. I was like, that's pretty wild. And then the O'Reilly thing. Boy, looking unhinged. He comes in, he wants to fight everybody, looking mean, right? And then he starts crying, hugging everybody. Then they hand him the shirt. Then he's like, no, I can't do this. And he weeps and leaves and looks all sad. I'm like, dude looks unstable. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But you know what? Any kind of emotion coming out of O'Reilly is good. Because like his last run in AEW, you're right, Siren. Like he was like barely anything. He was very vanilla. So I like this new, very emotional, perhaps unhinged, maybe bipolar O'Reilly, and I'm excited to see what goes on. I just don't get we're a bunch of badasses, but we totally play by the rules angle.
That I do agree. They are supposed to be heely.
Like, what's up with that? We are badasses. We do what we want, perfectly within the boundaries of the rules.
I was a big fan of the match. I like seeing FTR and Blackpool Combat Club together. I do feel like they have great chemistry. It seems like they put on a match that's a little bit different than what you normally get out of Blackpool Combat Club. And like a lot of the tag spots that they do are really cool. And like with both of them involved, it was nice. It was a great match. For me with FTR lately, because they had that whole thing with House of Black and whatnot recently, and then you're right, they have been kind of losing a little bit.
FTR and BCC, I could watch these guys have matches all day. I love the build up to this. I love the match at the pay-per-view, and you can guarantee both of these teams are going to be in the tournament coming up for the tag belts. And that's really exciting to have Jon Moxley and Claudio as a team in that tag team. And here's the thing with Jon Moxley. He don't lose a lot. He does not lose a lot. And there's a reason for that. He's like the highest paid guy on the roster, and he is protected. He's always been protected. So if you beat Jon Moxley, it means something. And if he loses too often, you lose that card to play. And you kind of need a guy like that. You kind of need a protected guy in the roster where if you beat him, it means you're the real deal. You are.
Like Jericho used to be that guy.
Well, who's that?
Mm-hmm.
Jericho used to be kind of like that guy. He was like a stone.
He's pretty
and then
protected
you're right,
as well.
Though, people they use it too. Yeah, but they started to use it a little bit too often. I feel with Jericho, and they have let up on it quite a bit because
he's taking more losses. Yeah, Powerhouse Hobbs just crushed Jericho.
Oh my God, that was funny though.
Destroyed him. I mean, it was something else. So I don't think anyone's going to be doing that to Jon Moxley, though. He's definitely more protected than Jericho at this point. But Jon Moxley, I mean, we're going to see him back in the world title scene after this. I would suspect that they do not win the belts, but I wouldn't be surprised if BCC holds the tag belts, and then whoever is the real, the long-term tag champion will beat them, and then it will mean something.
Timeless Toni Storm portrayed her character very well with the taunting, with the boots to the face, with the whole I'm bad, you're garbage, we're not friends anymore, blah blah blah. Obviously, I love the beginning of Mariah May coming out to the old Toni Storm look. That was really cool. And in the end, Toni Storm retains the title.
Tell you what, I was straight pissed off when she came out. I was like, God damn it, she went back to the old gimmick. That's the last thing I want.
Right? I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, and then I was like, oh, wait, that's Mariah.
They done me dirty. Wait, they got me.
But
I was so confused.
She looked identical when she came out.
Oh, man. Like, it was
she
freakish.
Really looked like her.
I'm not going to get into it too much here because I have a really good, well-produced review of this on my channel where, I put clips of the match in and stuff and read reviews. But one thing I did not talk about was how I love this little part of Toni Storm's character. I don't know if you guys noticed, but she only acknowledges Mariah May when she is dressed as Toni Storm, and you know that that's a wrinkle in the character. You know that that's going forward, and I just love that little character aspect that she did not acknowledge Mariah May until she looks like Toni Storm. Then she's like caressing her face, and now she's totally being acknowledged. So now Mariah May has to dress as Toni Storm to get Toni Storm's attention. If they don't do that, they have totally fucked up an angle, but I assume that is intentional and where we're going.
It is Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita. This match lived up. I enjoyed it. Very technical. A lot of good spots. The spot, again, it seemed like the night of Revolution was the night of backs because Ospreay's back just got got that one spot with the turnbuckle. And if you watch the media scrum, Ospreay actually showed off the bruise from that spot at the media scrum, and it was bad. It was gnarly. It was bruised. It was just marked up. But man, did he put on a match! And the sign of respect both men gave. I don't know where they're going with that. It's everybody was booing Don Callis as he was there, but they were cheering both Takeshita and Ospreay after the match. I'm like, you got two guys there that just showed respect to each other, and the crowd cheered both of them. I don't know if you noticed that, and you maybe want to take them away from the Don Callis family and start pushing them solo and having them be fan favorites, because
Ospreay don't need that. Ospreay don't need that family, man.
And I was actually about to say that. I don't think Ospreay needs that at all. He's his own guy, bruv. Sorry, bruv. He's his own guy.
Ospreay is going to be the most dominant person in AEW for like 6 years. Ospreay ain't losing to nobody. And Kyle Fletcher is going down this Wednesday. Ospreay's going to pick up his first title this week. I guess they could pull some crap where it's not for the title, but Ospreay's winning. I guess if Ospreay wants the title, he's going to have the title. I mean, look, Fletcher's great and Takeshita's great. I can see both these guys wrestling everybody, but Ospreay beating everybody.
Between Hangman Page, Swerve Strickland, and our champion Samoa Joe. This match, fun. Each guy got to have a minute in the ring of domination. Obviously, you had Hangman Page doing Hangman Page things of looking angry, looking like he's about to fart, just his facial expressions, but getting the better of both those guys. And then obviously, you had Swerve getting the best of both Joe and Page. And then obviously Joe being the fighting champion, trying to outduel both of those guys. A lot of close calls in this match, a lot of close finishes, a lot of close pinfalls. Obviously, it ends the way of Samoa Joe choking out Hangman Page, which is what I predicted.
Yo, I love that Hangman Adam Page just whooped that ref's ass. I've never seen anything like that before. I started yelling. I jumped about my seat. It's like, yo, he's whooping that ref's ass. That's a great angle to pull a suspension angle on him, though. I think he'll be back crazier than ever. I think it's fantastic. Hangman Adam Page is the best, and he's going to be the best person to come back as soon as Swerve wins that title at like World's End or whenever the hell he wins it, takes it off of Wardlow or some shit. Who knows? But yo, relive this feud when Hangman comes back, and maybe give him another title run with this insane character that he's developed.
But I will. The best part for me out of it, I mean, aside from the crazy jump that Darby did, was when Sting's sons came out and they were all doing the Stinger splashes, and you could just see how overeager they were, and they had so much heat going in, and they would jump a little early, but you could tell that it was just the excitement of being in the ring with their dad for his last match, but like they were gung freaking ho, and it was so awesome to watch.
All right, so I already picked all the meat off this bone on my review on my channel, but the one thing I did not mention, one thing I did not catch when I first watched this, which is fucking hilarious, is that the EVPs came up in the Cody Vader. Did anyone notice?
I did.
They had the Cody Vader, yeah.
Like as it was happening on the live reaction, I was like, "We're using the Cody Vader!"
Yeah, Cody Vader. So yeah,
That's
10
awesome.
stars, man.
Yeah.
10 stars all the way if you're going to drop a Cody reference on me during this thing. I picked it up later on. I said, God damn it, you geniuses.
That's good.
You genius bastards. I love the Young Bucks. I love that they played 80s bad guys for this. They just didn't give a shit. They got in none of their shit. The Young Bucks did like nothing. They had that one tribute spot, but mostly they did is bump their asses off, got killed by everything. Other than Darby Allin. Darby Allin hit nothing. That was the funny thing about the Darby bump is when they first show it, it doesn't even look like there's a Young Buck around. It just looks like Darby's lost his fucking mind. Like,
yeah, he's just like,
what are you doing? But then they showed the replay and a Young Buck was standing there, you know, Matt Jackson, and they pull him out of the way. I'm like, oh, okay. They tried to make that look like there was some fucking sense to that, but the...
Stop what you're doing, baby, and follow Mr. Hargrave from parts unknown, if you will, baby.
I've seen the demon's face.
Mark joined one half of private party, say what up to the grave diggers, and keep doing your thing.
On my knees in praise of the horrible things that took her away.
Watch another video or be perished.